School's back. Need to rest up and recover? The big report day is Thursday, which includes initial jobless claims. You're listening to the Arbitrage Trade Weekend News, and I'm your host, Darin Harper, bringing you 3 things you need to know for this weekend and an interview supporting teachers. Also, check out our winner and loser this week in the market. The 10-year stays around 3.9, and the 10-2 split rises to the mid-18s. WTI crude stays in the mid-76s. Here's 3 things. 5 months ago, NAR, or the National Association of Realtors, lost a class action suit saying that buyers and sellers have been paying their realtors too much. NAR settled without admitting guilt. Part of that agreement was to enact new rules. Now buyers must sign a representation agreement with an agent before seeing any houses. Realtors also can no longer advertise their compensation on the MLS or the multiple listing service. A goal of the new rules is to make it clear that commissions are negotiable. According to the latest Redfin analysis, the average U.S. seller paid a buyer's agent 2.55% in commission, which is down from January's number. That report did not include the listers. It will remain to be seen how much realtors' overall commissions will be affected. Germany's Deutsche Bank settlement proposal to shareholders who sued them for underpaying them during the acquisition of Postbank was rejected because they say it is way too low. This lawsuit goes way back to the great financial crisis in 2008. It has been ongoing this long, tied up in courts, which is generally what happens when large sums of money are at stake. A ruling may finally be as early as next Wednesday. The lawyers say the offer is about half of what it should be. Go figure. Here are the bigs for next week. Monday, it's World Photo Day, and not a whole lot going on in the markets. Tuesday, it's Eurozone CPI being reported. Wednesday, it's National Senior Citizens Day. It's also U.S. crude oil inventories and the FOMC meeting minutes. Thursday, it's the U.S. initial jobless claims, S&P PMI, and the existing home sales. Look for that jobless claims number to be a big deal in the news. Friday, it's Cheap Flight Day. I don't know, I don't make them up. And it's new home sales reports. Just so you'll know, Saturday is National Waffle Day. Trade while you're sleeping across time zones with Arbitrage Trade Assist. Sign up today at arbitragetrade.com. Arbitrage Trade is your trusted source for business, finance, and tech info.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hi, Caroline, or Mrs. Hollis, or whatever the kids call you when you were a teacher.
Hey, you teacher.
Just hey, you teacher? Yeah, keep it clean. Did they anything else they called you?
Behind my back.
I'd be like one of those teachers that just turn around real quick and see what's going on when they're not looking. Or they're looking, I should say. Anyway, you did a blog this week on supporting teachers.
Yes, I did.
Which is really needed.
Yes, for
You've
sure.
lived it. You've been in the front lines.
I did.
And you know the lack of, or maybe some people that support.
Yes.
So it's Saturday. First full week of school for most Memphians. Memphis kids, that is.
Yes.
Is everyone sleeping in this morning with the change of the routine, kind of getting over that first driving to the car lines, the making the lunches.
Everyone's tired
all
after
of that
the
stuff.
first week.
Are they? Okay.
Everyone's tired, even teachers.
It's been so long for me. I'm so old. I just forget. So, kind of talk about, because Melina did, it was funny, we all did this here in the last week or so.
Yes.
But Melina did one on essential school supplies, I think for like 4th, 5th graders, that kind of thing.
Right.
And then I did one on the mental aspect, because I'm a closet psychologist.
Of course.
And then a closet philosopher, too.
Here in your cave.
That's right. Just one on the mental things that kids go through.
Yes, and you especially mentioned teens, which is very important.
Yes, that's important. And then the teachers as well. I mean, they mentally go through tons.
It's tough.
The parents go through tons. So just creating a type of environment to make that all better.
Yes.
So kind of give me. Well, actually, you just went to a meet the teacher event, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As we're recording this on Friday, last night was our Meet the Teacher with my son's school.
Yeah. So what is that like? What do they do?
So that's for parents only, and
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of go to the teacher's classroom. You get to hear about kind of procedures. Oh, now, like this year, we're in 4th grade. Here's some things that are different that you'll see. They're different from 3rd grade,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. Here's our schedule. Here's when we have PE.
So schedules, agendas for the year, or do they get specific enough, or no?
A little bit. They have a theme per quarter, along with a project, project-based learning, and they do a field trip every quarter to go along with what they're learning and things like that. So kind of an overview.
Well, they should get you to do the field trip signatures then instead of later on when they happen.
Right. Just go ahead and sign once for all.
That's right. Because sometimes I remember it being tough to get those back, I'm sure, sometimes.
Yes, it can be, yes.
On time, yes, which is another life lesson that teachers give. So we evidently have a problem with some support, right? I mean,
Yes.
the teachers are not getting supported enough. And I remember when I was in high school, I did not realize that schools weren't always supplied.
Right.
And because, I went to Memphis Harding Academy,
Yes.
and we got our school list and went off and did buy the stuff from Target and all that, and never knew that there was a need for teachers.
Yes.
And that teachers will cross over and do it themselves and go out and buy the stuff.
For sure.
And then have no support there.
Yes.
So that's crazy, because there's already in my opinion, they don't get paid enough.
Right.
And then throw in the fact they have to go spend money to even
To
do
stock
their
their
job,
classroom.
really.
Yes.
And to do what ultimately they're wanting to do, which is to make the kids better.
Yes.
And if they don't have the supplies, they're not going to get better. Okay, so I will stop talking
You're
and
good.
let you jump in there and just kind of tell me a little bit more about this whole school supply.
Yeah.
thing.
So you went to a private school here in
Right.
town, and in my experience, this is not for everyone, but in my experience, the private schools are a little better at helping teachers supply their classrooms, usually in high school, like you were talking about, through the departments, with a department budget. But that's, again, what department are you in? What kind of budget do you have? But a lot of the large school districts and public schools, they are lucky if teachers get $100 to spend on their classroom. That's considered a good district. And
For
so
how many students?
well,
Was that $5 a student?
In elementary school, my son's classes have been, 20 to 25 students per class. In high school, when I taught high school, I had between 7 and 27 students per period, and I taught 4 to 6 periods, depending on the year and the school and all that. And so that $100 doesn't cover much.
No.
It does not cover much at all. And you also mentioned that in your family, you remember going to buy school supplies. A lot of our low-income families are trying to just put food on the table. They can't afford the pencils and the markers and all that kind of stuff. And so there are some kids who go to school and their families cannot provide those.
Especially now with the inflation. I mean, that's even worse.
It is hard.
And then you try to ask them to go get a TI, whatever computer is needed now for the
yes
for the equations. It's like that's
don't
only
make me feel
$100.
bad about that.
That's only $100. Come on.
So something that I try to do with our family is we just try to buy a little extra to help for those students who their families can't afford it, or just to help out throughout the school year. If they ask for a pack of 4 Expo dry erase markers, I might buy a 6-pack. Just a little extra here and there. I do like to shop sales, and I'll check several different stores, and I will spend my time to go to different stores and just try to get some extras along the way.
Yeah. And you also said that it's important to do it not only at the beginning of the year, but midway through the year.
Yes.
They run out.
Yes.
Right?
I always like to send January, February. I always send like a little gift bag, and I just put a new box of pencils, board markers, erasers, just those things that run out and get overused. Because I don't want as a teacher, I spent my own money, and I don't want my son's teacher to have to do that if at all possible.
Right. So is there Any communication on those school lists? I don't remember there being one back when I did about, hey, can you buy extra for those that need it?
Not really a buy extras, but some of the parents, we actually, we did a uniform swap for our kids' uniforms over the summer to help like bring your clothes your kids outgrown and just to help with that process. And so I'm fortunate that we have a lot of supportive parents in our school, and the administration and teachers are all great. I love my son's school. Cannot say enough great things about it. But we do try. I know a lot of times teachers, I have some friends who are teachers, and they actually create an Amazon wish list. And so like I could go and buy. I have actually one of my former students is a math teacher here in town. She teaches middle school math. And so I can go to her Amazon wish list and buy her some pencils for her class and things like that.
Gotcha.
So some teachers do that.
You said that also, I think you said somewhere that it's important that parents create a space for studying and doing the homework and all that good stuff?
Yes. So, they need an area at home that's free from distractions, not right by the TV, have their phone away for a little bit. And just make sure your kid has the right supplies at home as well. My son's still in elementary school, and we're getting a little away from this, but I always made sure we had crayons and markers and scissors and glue and, things like that at home, just to make sure that anything that came home, he would be able to complete.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's important. So you said that even if I don't have a child in school,
right,
or even never had a child in school, that you still can do things to help out.
Absolutely.
So volunteering and
you can
to be a part of the teacher's aid, I think, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You usually have to do background checks and things like that, before they'll let you in the school. But one year that I was teaching, we had a parent who came in and volunteered to run copies for us. And so they gave her a little mailbox in the mailroom, and we would just put a folder with her name and how many copies we needed. And even just running copies one day a week was a big help. You can, I know I live about half a block away from a local elementary school, and they put out a thing in our neighborhood group about just supplies that the teachers could use, extra supplies like you were asking about earlier. They asked for like some K-cups, like the Keurig coffee, some things to help the teachers out. And then we also, in the neighborhood, went on the first day of school and lined up outside the school to help cheer on the kids. And so that's something you don't have to have kids at the school to go just say, yay, have a great school year, and cheer them on, let you know that the neighborhood's here supporting you. Yeah, things like that. Because
it's not just this classroom. You've got all the sports and the clubs and everything else that need to be funded. And to me, that's as important because it's going to keep the kids off the streets and get them into stuff where they can keep their mind on healthy stuff.
Mind and body active as well, to help create well-rounded adult citizens in our community.
Exactly.
Yeah, and something my mom, she's not retired, but she's cut back her hours some, and so she volunteers with a local nonprofit that goes into schools and helps work one-on-one with students who are struggling with reading. And over the summer, she actually they helped the nonprofit gathered a bunch of donations and things, and my mom went and helped stuff backpacks to give out to kids who need a backpack with school supplies to take into their school. And also, this is something that even as a podcaster, you could do. A lot of schools like to have career things like a career day or, video chat with someone who does something cool.
Right.
And so actually one of my son's projects this year, they're going to be recording a podcast.
Wow.
They're going to study certain animal things in science and then get it together with something else. And so their project for, I think it's the second quarter, they're going to do some sort of a recording and learn about the recording process.
Might see him in the studio soon, huh?
I know. I'll have to bring him up, send a picture in, maybe get extra credit for it.
That'll be my support.
But then also, not to get too political, but as you're looking at who you want to vote for, especially in local elections with like local school boards and stuff, especially locally, check and see how they've voted before on education and funding the schools. Look at what they've done with, especially here in Memphis, where low poverty levels, a lot of schools have free and reduced lunch for everybody. Check and see who's supported that and who's tried to expand that rather than cut it. So there are things like that you can do as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's kind of a base of what you covered, but of course we could go talk for hours on this.
Oh yeah, I could be here for a while.
Especially you. Yes, I just I'll go walk away, go to the bathroom, and just let you
exactly.
let you talk for
an
hour or two.
Go grab lunch. I'll be back.
But is there anything else you want to add on before we wrap up here?
No, just I guess the biggest thing, know that always assume the best. Know that teachers are trying their best and assume the best. Don't assume the worst. If something comes across the wrong way or if they're asking for supplies, don't assume they're greedy. Assume they're really asking because they need it, things like that. Assume the best. Assume the best in the supply world, but assume that being supplied might be the worst. so help out any way you can. Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks, Caroline. And hey, weekend.
Hey, it's the weekend.
Enjoy the weekend off. And then, sorry, Monday has to come around eventually.
It does for everybody.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
This week's winner and loser in the market. The loser is Pubmatic, that's P-U-B-M. They are headquartered in California, and they're a technology company that engage in the provision of a cloud infrastructure platform that enables real-time programming advertising transactions for digital content creators, advertisers, agencies, agency trading desks, and demand-side platforms worldwide. PUBM was also $20 last Thursday, but dropped all the way to $12.88 after the earnings fell below analysts' estimates. 52-week high was $25.36, and the 52-week low, $10.92. And the winner is Clover Health Investments, or CLOV. They are headquartered in Tennessee. They provide Medicare Advantage plans in the United States, and they operate through two segments, which is insurance and non-insurance. CLOV began the week at $1.84 and started moving up Tuesday, reaching its 52-week high yesterday of $2.90, after reporting during their ER that they are improving full-year guidance on strong performance. 52-week high is $2.90, which they just hit, and the 52-week low is 60 cents. Visit arbitragetrade.com and learn about Pips, our AI bot, who lets you stop watching and start living. We are not financial advisors. We provide an AI bot algorithm service. Thank you for joining us today for another edition of Arbitrage Weekend News. Log into arbitragetrade.com to read our wide variety of blogs and educate yourself on Trade Assist and Forex trading, or even how to make passive money with our Trade Assist Affiliate Marketer program. You can even get to know our cute little AI bot called Pips. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is a privately held research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the contents of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to function as investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC, please visit arbitragetrade.com.